just as much as these things making waves this week, I have a gripe. I have a petty gripe with the film industry and with just world culture as a whole. Can we not do April Fool's Day anymore? Because people forget that it's April Fool's Day. Not just the people who are fooled, but the people that actually have real news to release. And so on April 1st this year, I'm sitting there scrolling through news on my phone, and I come across this story. David Fincher producing the sequel to Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Is that an April Fool's Day story, or is that a real story? Because if it's a real story, cool. If that's April Fool's, then screw you, man. Not cool. And so, like, God forbid that you are somebody who has a real news story that comes out on April 1st. I would say if I was going to die, I would like to not die on April 1st, because anybody who cared would not know if they could believe it. Oh, April Fool's, Ben isn't dead. Okay, so let's talk about this. So, for a long time, Quentin Tarantino has been saying that his next project that he directs will be his last. And we've had a title for that project for a long time. We were told that it was called The Critic, and that it would follow a film critic for a porn magazine in the 1960s. We eventually hear that it is going to star somebody he's worked with before, specifically on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Brad Pitt. Rumors start to come out that Brad Pitt is reprising his role from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that he will be playing Cliff Booth, the stunt double of Leonardo DiCaprio from that film, and that will have some form of a tie-in for this The Critic movie. Then bad news, we start to hear that production for The Critic is falling through some cracks, and then we hear that Tarantino has shelved it. Now we're hearing, and I believe that this is a real story, because reporting on it has continued despite it first breaking on April 1st, that David Fincher is going to pick that project up and work on it. Fantastic. I think we all have faith in Fincher's ability to deliver a great story. He's also worked with Brad Pitt before. Maybe that means that this is darker than a typical Tarantino movie, but what does this mean for any future production from Quentin Tarantino? We don't know. But I did, you know what, while I was doing this, while I was kind of writing this up, and notes for myself and getting ready for this show, I thought, what a good time to mention one of my favorite things, that I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But one of the things that I love almost more than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood itself is the list of people who played minor roles in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and went on to have incredible years in the last couple of years, right? So you have the main staples: Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Emile Hirsch had a cameo, but Margaret Qualley had done work before this, but has gone in to do some great projects since then. You then have, we've all heard of Timothy Olyphant. Austin Butler went on to be Elvis, and was in Dune Part 2 and the Bike Riders. You have, everybody has heard of Dakota Fanning, but she played a pretty minor role. Al Pacino was in it. I don't know if you've heard of Al Pacino. Don't call him Albert. Lena Dunham played a minor character. Mikey Madison. You've heard her name lately because of everything that she's raking in on an award level for Anora. Like Sydney Sweeney, yeah. Have you heard of Sydney Sweeney? So, like, look at these people played such small roles. They weren't even, necessarily cameos, but this movie showcased so much talent, and there were so many opportunities and so many people that wanted to be involved that these stars in their own right sign up to play anything in it and have gone on. I mean, like the level of talent for Sydney Sweeney and Austin Butler and Mikey Madison and Margaret Qualley. I love that about the film, and I feel like every time I go back and watch it, I'm like, oh, that person. You know what? I didn't notice they were in this, and now they have this incredible career.